All right, guys, welcome back to the Pocket Mads channel. It's Maddie here. Today, we have a gameplay showcase. Paldean Wonders released yesterday. A bunch of awesome new cards came to the game. Today, we're going to be focused on one strategy in particular that I do think is actually probably the strongest new card added in this new expansion. That is Bellibolt EX. This card is actually kind of crazy. Now, I think there's a lot of different ways that you can play Bellibolt EX, but in today's video, we're going to be playing kind of a turbo high roll version of Bellibolt. So let's break it all down. Like I said, I think there's a lot of different ways in which we can play Bellibolt. There's a ton of different strong lightning type cards and strategies. I think that there's two predominant, easy to understand ways. I think one is going to be with Magna Zone, so you can play Magneton to generate additional energies. That to me is definitely going to be really strong. It'll be pretty consistent. Magna Zone is in general a really strong Pokemon, but as we know, Magna Zone doesn't love matching up into Hydreigon, and I think that's going to be a bit of a slower grind deck, a bit of a mid-game deck. If we play kind of a turbo aggressive version of Bellibolt, we can basically play high roll and I think have a lot of, I would say, a much better chance of being able to compete against other high roll decks in the metagame like Hydreigon. So that's going to be the version that we play today. Again, keep in mind, this set's been out for literally a day, so things are going to be very different a week from now. This is just sort of an early draft deck list. It's definitely not fully optimized yet, but I do think Bellibolt is absolutely broken, so that's what I wanted to highlight with today. So we're playing double Bellibolt EX, double of the Tadpole, but I should probably tell you what Bellibolt does, because it's actually very strong. Stage 1, EX Pokemon, 160 HP, which is a great amount. Retreat cost of 3, high voltage cannon. It does 70 damage for 2 lightning energy, but if we have 4 total energies on our board, it does 140 damage. This may seem like a hard condition to satisfy, but believe me, it's definitely not tons of easy ways to get additional lightning energies on the board. The dream for Bellibolt, the main, I guess, goal of this particular deck is to get a Bellibolt in the active and 4 energies on the board by your second turn. It's actually fairly easy to do. That's turn 2, 160 HP, 140 damage. We're effectively playing this as if it was Hydreigon. It's also not a stage 2 Pokemon, which is pretty cool. We're playing double Zero Aura because Zero Aura is absolutely one of the best cards for this particular card, Bellibolt, and it's really good. Zero Aura, if it's on your board and you're on your first turn, at the end of the turn, it just generates an additional lightning energy. So by turn 2, we should be able to pile up energies. I also threw a Pichu in here just because it's a good leadoff option, especially going first. So shout out to Pichu. We have one of them in the deck list. I don't know if it's really needed, but we're playing double Pichu. We got double Pokeball in here, double Electric Generator. This is a new item card here that basically allows us to just generate another lightning energy out of thin air as long as we can flip heads with Electric Generator. Very, very strong. We're pairing this. However, it's limited to lightning Pokemon and only to the benched Pokemon. So that's really not that big of an issue because Bellibolt doesn't need 4 energies on it. It only needs 2. So we are playing double Elemental Switch. This is going to have good synergy with Generator as well as Zero Aura to get the second energy onto Bellibolt maybe a turn earlier, especially when you go first. So double Generator, double E-Switch. For the supporters, this is, I think, where things can kind of open up a little bit. I do have double Copycat, double Research, just like we play in most decks these days. And I just kind of went with some standard supporters, one Sabrina, one Cyrus, one Licia, because this Tadpole right here has 50 HP, and it also has the charge attack, which, again, is kind of scary to have this thing in the active attacking on your first turn, but it is definitely, I think, better or a good option, and you can play Licia with it. So we're playing this Tadpole, which came out, I believe, last set or last season. And that's the deck list, guys. Again, high roll Bellibolt. You're either going to love it, you're going to hate it. But this metagame right now is very reliant on high roll type deck lists. And I think you can play Bellibolt like this very easily, which is why I think this is kind of the strategy in which I'm going to be trying to play Bellibolt in. Now, a couple of things that you could possibly add to a deck list like this if we get in here. My game just like froze. That's crazy. So a couple of things. I think Bellibolt in a deck list like this would actually benefit from something like a Lucky Ice Pop pretty well. I just don't really want to play a Lucky Ice Pop, so I'm not playing it. Sightseer could be good to find your Bellibolts, or, if you wanted to play Heavy Helmet onto Bellibolt to reduce the damage, you could also maybe slot in Arven in the deck as well. So again, limited deck space to be fair, but anyway, that's the deck list. Let's try it out. We're on random battles, but the competitive mode here. And yeah, we're just going to do this all in one take. So we're going to see if this goes well for us or not. This is a high roll deck in nature. I assume it's probably going to have, what is this? Oh, okay. Sorry. I was in the middle of a battle. It gave me a loss, I guess, because I swapped over to my PC client. But anyway, let's get right into it. So I am very excited about Bellibolt because I really think this card has like top tier potential. I could be completely wrong about that, but lightning type Pokemon have always been very well positioned. In fact, you could even play Bellibolt with things like Oricorio. There's a million, like, I'm not even joking, there's a million different ways that you can play Bellibolt. So this deck list in particular might not end up being the most relevant strategy for Bellibolt, but I do think Bellibolt in general is going to be very, very good. We're playing a lightning deck. Mirror matchup here could possibly be the Bellibolt Mirror. We lead with Sabrina and Cyrus in hand, Pokeball, Electric Generator. So as any high roll deck in the game, we're very reliant on copycats and researches, so hopefully we can draw those. Our opponent is playing Raikou EX and Zeraora. Okay, so he's playing kind of a Turbo Lightning type deck here. Let's see what we can get. Lissia off the top is actually really good, and I'll tell you why. Because this is going to guarantee double Tadbulb, and then the Pokeball, this is why we play Lissia, and then this Pokeball is going to guarantee a Zeraora, which is really nice. So all we need is a Bellibolt here, and we should be pretty consistently able to possibly just KO this Raikou. He's not going to be able to attack next turn regardless because he's going second. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put both Tadbulbs, I think, down just immediately because we're not going to have another Zeraora on our bench. So we're going to just go double Tadbulb here, and let's just rock out with Electric Generator. Let's do it. So it's a coin flip, might get the additional energy. We don't, it's all good, you know, because we got Pichu, we got Zeraora. So next turn, we're going to have 3 energies regardless. If we did, in fact, get that generator off, there's a very solid potential that we would have actually gone into turn 2 going first with 4 energies. But again, we also need Bellibolt. We could Sabrina stall next turn. We'll have to just kind of wait and see what happens. But if this Pichu goes down, really not that big of a deal. Again, Bellibolt, guys, deals 140 damage. So you're KOing a lot of different Pokemon, which is really good. He hits us with the research here. A Copycat top deck would be really, really nice. Here comes the Electric Generator. So the thing is, he actually could attack this turn because like what you can do is go Generator E-switch 1 turn. And that's how you can kind of get an energy into the active, which is pretty cool. He's also playing Tapu Koko. So he's probably going to pass here. Legendary Pulse, ends his turn with 4 cards in hand. What do we top deck here? It's a research, not bad. I am going to play the research here. We need Bellibolt. If we end up sacking the Pichu, not a big deal. Copycat off the rip and a Pokeball. Okay, so we might have to just sort of, sit back for another turn, which is, again, totally fine. There's that Zeraora, the last basic Pokemon in our deck list. And if Pichu goes down, we can bench it and then Copycat for some additional cards next turn. Copycat should be nice into Raikou. Again, he is going to be able to tag one of our bench Pokemon for 10 damage, which is kind of scary, but shouldn't be too big of a deal. I think Pichu is kind of one of the more scary cards in our deck because it is a bit of a liability. We're going to split energies here. It's a bit of a liability into like Greninja strategies. So I don't know if I'm fully sold on Pichu, but in scenarios like this, it's actually going to be pretty nice, right? Because we don't mind if it gets KO'd. So again, we need Bellibolt. We have double Bellibolt, 7 cards in the deck. So we're moving pretty quickly through our deck list here. But we should be able to just come in and just kind of KO unless he's got like a giant cape or something. So that's, again, going to be a big benefit for Bellibolt is it can just KO a lot of Pokemon. Electrical Cord is totally fine for me. Let's see if he just attacks. If he does, we're not worried about it. He's got a lot of cards in hand. We're virtually guaranteed. Yeah, we're going to be guaranteed the Bellibolt next turn, which is totally fine. He targets the Tadbulb, which I don't mind. It doesn't really matter to me because we have enough energies on the board already. So I'm actually just going to bring in this Tadbulb. I don't really care. It's full HP. He's going to go up to, what is it, 6 cards in hand. So we should be virtually guaranteed a Bellibolt here. I say virtually. It's not, I guess, a guarantee, but we're going to get 6 cards and plus 3 with 6 cards in deck. So it would be very unlikely if we don't get one Bellibolt. Maybe we brick here in the first game. Be hard to imagine. Not it. There it is. Cyrus and second Bellibolt, which is good as well, and Sabrina. So I think here's the deal, right? So we got to be a little bit careful, right? Because quite frankly, we don't really want to evolve this one because he's only taken 1 prize. So I think we probably hold off on this. I know we're living in attack anyway. I just don't want to get like double Cyrus scammed. So I'm not even going to evolve that Tadbulb. If it does get KO'd, it's whatever, but we have 3 energies off of Tadbulb anyway. So we can just KO here for 140, and we're going to KO either of these Pokemon on the bench regardless. We also have Sabrina as a win condition. So at this point in the game, I mean, we did it, I think, on turn 3 going first, but it was possible to get it on turn 2 going first. But most of the time, if you go second, you should be able to get it on turn 2. And if you go first, you can definitely get it on turn 3. So Bellibolt, really, really strong. Again, 160 HP, 140 damage. This card is just absolutely incredible. It really is. I think Sabrina's pretty needed. Again, the prize math can be a little bit sketchy sometimes, right? Because if, your Zero Aura or your Tadbulb or your Pichu goes down, then you really only have one Bellibolt to try to win the game. So there's going to be some scenarios where the deck just doesn't feel too great because it is kind of a two-prize Pokemon, which, is a little bit worse than things like Hydreigon, but I think that the 160 HP is really, really good. 140 damage. I just think this is a really strong card. I'm not going to lie. And hopefully in this video, we can showcase some absolutely insane high roll shenanigans. But I mean, this man's going to have to deal with just getting hit for 140 like every turn. That's just the reality of it, So again, I really love Bellibolt, guys. I think this is a really good card. I think there's other good cards actually in this set. I think this set's pretty slept on. Unfortunately, all the arts are reprints, which doesn't feel great, but I know Bellibolt's a strong card, so I'm going to be excited about it. Starting Plains comes down. That's actually a really big deal. It's gonna actually bring him just above that energy threshold, and we don't play a stadium to get rid of that, which is crazy. And he also gets a generator. Okay, now it's actually a little bit scary here. Starting Plains, I think, actually just won him the game. I'm assuming he has Cyrus in hand. So I don't think we can win because he benched Raikou and got Starting Plains. So I think we actually just got cooked by that. There's no way around it, which of course doesn't feel great. Is there anything we can do? No, we're just not playing a stadium, and we're definitely going to get Cyrus next turn. So RIP to us. The Starting Plains got us. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I mean, it might be worth it to play your own stadium. That's the one thing here. We're not playing any Reds or Giovannis, so unfortunately, he's got double basics at 150. We have no way to KO them. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate for us. So, hey, what can you do, I guess? We can't do anything. Yeah, RIP to us. All right, hey, we got. He got us. He got us pretty good. I don't know if we're going to see a lot of Starting Plains type shenanigans, but we don't really have any counter for it, quite frankly. And we let the Pichu go down. I don't know if there was a way to avoid this. I think, unfortunately, he just kind of had the perfect scenario where he got the double, we can't even Sabrina to win condition, which feels bad. And we're just whiffing at 140. So, hey, RIP, we got. But I'm still loving it. I still love Bellibolt. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You know what I mean? I mean, you could play Training Arena in the deck, so that would, not only get rid of Starting Plains, but it would just allow us to hit for 150. So, I mean, listen, we don't know what is going to be active in the metagame. I don't think that, okay, we're getting BM'd. I don't think, like, a lot of the top meta decks play stadiums. I guess Suicune does sometimes, but we're hitting for weakness on Suicune. So Hydreigon doesn't play a stadium, so I don't really think it's that relevant. Of course, if you end up hitting Tapu Koko, Raikou, Starting Plains, the 140 is going to be an issue for sure. But, that's kind of, that's what happens when you play random battles. You just kind of hit some random scenarios that aren't good for you. So, hey, the luck runs out in the game one, but I think we properly illustrated how strong Bellibolt is in general. Maybe he wasn't playing Cyrus. We could have just retreated, but I'm pretty confident he had a Cyrus, so I'm not really worried about it. Not that it matters anyway. We're not ranked. Let's get into the next battle. Hopefully we don't get absolutely just squeezed out by 10 HP. Again, there's a lot of things. Like, this deck list can be changed so many different ways depending on what you're commonly going to be seeing play. Now, again, we're playing random battles, so it's not very common we're going to be playing up against Raikou, Tapu Koko, Starting Plains. That's just not, it's not a real deck. But in tournaments, Hydreigon, Altaria, things like that are going to be very, very common. So I think Bellibolt has a lot of potential in that sense. Now, if you're playing up against a deck playing double basic EXs at 150 HP, obviously the current build of the deck's not going to be very good. But that also did kind of illustrate the sketchiness a little bit of Pichu in the sense that, if it goes down, your opponent can just kind of go through one Bellibolt, which is why I don't know if I really love Pichu. It has been something that I've kind of noticed a little bit throughout these games. The starting Lycia with double Pichu, or Pichu with double Tadbulb, is pretty hilarious, actually. We're going second, so I'm just going to put this Tadbulb on the bench in case we get copycatted. And we're playing Dialga, which is, again, a little bit sketchy here, 150 HP. But we'll see what we can do here. We do have Sabrina, which is going to be a really good card into Dialga. I assume we're probably going to be playing some Golden Go type shenanigans. We really don't know. Our hand is not very good, though, unfortunately. It's crazy that we have Lycia with double Tadbulb Pichu, but, hey, sometimes your luck runs out. He does get double Gimme Ghouls down, which is pretty cool, but I'm probably going to hit him with the turn one Sabrina. Yeah, we definitely are. We're just going to hit him with it. Just get this Dialga out of here. Now, he could just hit us with, like, the Chestaflage. Oh, no, this one. So he's playing one of each. Okay, so he brought up the Chestaflage one, not the continuous step one, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, let's just Crackly Toss. We get the Dialga out of the active, which is, like, preferred for sure. Again, I like Pichu. It's just going to be it's not going to be helpful in a lot of scenarios, you know? That's what we just have to keep that in mind. He actually just commits to Dialga and stays in the active, which is crazy. Pokeball comes down, so again, we're not really getting anywhere with our, unfortunately, with our board here. But we can just start hitting, so we could just retreat and E-switch. It might even be a better play considering like what's happening here. I'm just going to burn the Lycia. And I don't think we really need the energy this turn. I'd rather be proactive and get the damage down. So I'm just going to retreat into Zera, and I'll E-switch. If we're going to end with 0 cards in hand, maybe we can top deck a Copycat. That'd be pretty cool. 12 cards in deck. Let's just move off of a Tadbulb here. Now, committing to Zera in the active can be a little scary, just in the sense that when it gets KO'd, of course, we lose double energies. But in a scenario like this, I think it kind of makes sense to just be somewhat proactive. Dialga's really not too much of a stress on us. And this already has damage, so Cyrus might be a win condition at some point. We'll get an attack off onto Dialga, so that all should be pretty good. He actually just double commits to Dialga. Does he play X-Speed? No, he's going to PCL the active for some reason. I don't know. That doesn't really help him in this particular scenario here. Oh, he's also got Ice Pop. Okay. Yeah, you know, this is, I think, still going to be really common. We did ban Ice Pop in a tournament this weekend, our tournament. But in general, I think that, you know, our deck also doesn't play Ice Pops, and I think our deck would probably just be better with Ice Pops, because unfortunately, that's how the card works, you know? But he goes back up to full, which is hilarious. We top deck a Research, so possibly we can get something going here. Bellibolt and another Pokeball, so we can't actually KO this turn, which would be pretty cool. Even though we're not hitting for the full damage, I think I probably just do want to do that. Because we'll hit for 70 and we'll KO the Gimme Ghoul, and then, you know, whatever, right? We can just sort of tag the Dialga. Probably be fine. So we discard 1 energy there. We only have 3 on board, but we can KO this Gimme Ghoul, and if he goes into Dialga... I guess, listen, Dialga also has 150 HP. You know, we haven't played Hydreigon, we haven't played Suicune, we haven't played Altaria. Those are the decks you're going to see commonly in tournament play. But, you know, maybe week 1, it's a lot of Dialga Golden Go. Maybe it's a lot of, you know, weird stuff. You know what I mean? I think that, you know, deck lists like the one we're playing can be changed very dramatically depending on what's, you know, in the metagame. But here comes the Golden Go, so he's going to be able to get a couple of energies on this thing this turn. Now, it really just depends on whether or not we can move through our deck at this point, right? This Giant Cave doesn't really matter. So we basically have to draw into Cyrus at this point. That's kind of the only win condition, because he's just going to retreat out of this. And we just need to be able to bring this back up to KO it, basically, because we already played Sabrina. There's a second Bellibolt, which is fine. I'm going to commit here, and I will evolve this. This should be a little bit safer here with this Eminent Golden Go coming in. We cannot KO one-hit KO Golden Go, so we have to keep that in mind. And if he retreats, then he's only going to be doing 160 total damage. So, again, we definitely need Cyrus, or we just need to kind of get a little bit lucky here off the Golden Go squeeze, but, you know, we'll figure it out. Here comes another lucky Ice Pop. I don't know why. This doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but I guess he'll play it because why not? Okay, so we got Cyrus in deck, 7 cards. We do have double Bellibolt. Should be able to soak up some damage here. He's going to Lyra, so keep the energies onto Dialga, which is interesting. But again, this is only going to do 4 different target selections. He only has 1 card in hand, so Copycat's not going to be useful top deck, unfortunately. And, okay, so he splits the energies, but he KOs the Pichu, which is really scary, unfortunately, for us. Because, of course, he can definitely just kind of triple target, or even double target this one, and we top deck Cyrus, so GG. Anyway, Golden Go is going to be scary in that sense. We just didn't get any Copycats that turn, or that game in general, so, you know, we could have moved through our deck a bit quicker. But yeah, I think Golden Go in general is just not a great strategy, but, you know, also at the same time, it can just win games outright, you know, it's a very RNG-based deck. I don't really see Golden Go being super relevant in the metagame, but I know people are going to play it, and it's definitely going to be able to win some games, so shout out to Golden Go. I'm really more curious about hitting some more popular matchups. I guess in random battles, people are just going to be playing the new decks right now, right? So keep in mind, I did sort of build this deck without any particular thing in mind, but we've yet to really go turn 2 pop off with Bellibolt. So I'm kind of interested to see if we can make that happen, because that's what I would definitely want to illustrate, right? It's like when you play Hydreigon, right? You have the potential to go crazy on your second turn, but like most of the time, you know, it's just a really consistent like turn 3, turn 4 deck. We're playing a fire type deck now, going first though with Tadbulb in the active, playing a Magmar. All right, I don't know what this is. There could be like a crazy Armarouge deck. We'll have to wait and see. The Copycat off the rip's interesting. I think Lycia turn 1 is probably the move, just so we can get, you know, some Pokemon out of our deck. No Zeraora turn 1, which feels bad. Also going first leading Tadbulb feels bad. So no Generator to potentially attach and retreat. So unfortunately, we're just going to have to kind of ride out with this. Doesn't feel great. It might have been actually better to just Copycat there and not keep our hand, but hey, whatever. I'm not really thinking too much about it. So he's going to be able to stack up this Magmar. I don't know if he's going to evolve into like Magmortar or something. That might happen. The Zeraora on turn 2 is hilarious. Really not what we want, quite frankly. Okay. So we have to think about this logically. I think honestly, like I think we just bench this because we'll just bench these Pokemon regardless. So I think if we bench, I know the Zeraora, we didn't get any value out of it, unfortunately. We can Copycat here, maybe draw into an Electric Generator would be cool. Also Bellibolt. It might be worth it to just not even attach to the active Tadbulb. Okay, so 2 dead cards right off the bat. We do get Bellibolt and Generator. Okay, wow. So we ended up drawing double dead Pokeballs. Okay, all right. Horrible draw luck in this game here. Double dead Pokeball and a Zeraora here off that Copycat, which, you know, you love to see. We could attach active and then retreat just in case he doesn't get the Magmortar, I suppose. I don't know if I would really love that, but it would keep a... We do get the Generator down. Let's put this onto Tadbulb. Do we just... I guess we can just attach active and then charge, and I guess that's fine, because if he doesn't get the evolution, it's whatever. But the issue there is that if we do that, then we're... I don't think really ever able to 2-hit KO with Bellibolt, because we're never going to get the 140. So I think, honestly, what we have to do is just commit double here. That also feels bad. But yeah, anyway, I'm just going to do this. And I'm just going to end my turn because I'm really expecting him to evolve and just KO the active, quite frankly. If he doesn't, then whatever. But yeah, okay, this is kind of what we were expecting. So this is good. This is fine. He just KOs the active here. Now, this means that sometimes he's immune to stuff, but he doesn't 2-hit KO us, which is also pretty funny. So, you know, what are you going to do? I would actually rather, I think, sack Pichu here, maybe, because like the way it kind of works here is that basically... During your opponent's next turn, if the defending Pokemon tries to use an attack... Oh, no. That doesn't even... It's defending Pokemon, yeah. So, all right. Anyway, let's just research. So if we can get, like, a Generator or something... Okay. So we might just be able to KO this turn. If we get lucky off a Generator. Let's go. Do it to me. Come on. Oh, all right. No Generator, unfortunately, for us. But I guess it's all good. So we'll just bench this. We'll bench this. And we'll just let him KO Pichu. And then we'll just KO him in the active. Shout out to Magmortar, but unfortunately the effect's not going to work very well in this particular scenario. So we're kind of just riding on the whole fact that we're going to want to KO with Bellibolt, but hopefully we can do that. He's going to attach the big air balloon to this thing and have free retreat. I'm just ready for it. Oh, heavy helmet. So now he takes 140 damage. Sadly, it's exactly what we do in damage for this guy, but hey. What are you going to do? So yeah, this effect works on the defending Pokemon. So like, I'm pretty sure we're just guaranteed to be able to get the damage off with Bellibolt this turn. I think that's kind of the issue with cards like this. But anyway, let's do our thing here. Pretty sure I'm just going to use the attack anyway. Yeah. All right. All right. Well, okay. Obviously, the decks we're playing today are a little bit suspect. I'm not going to lie. But that's what we get. It's hard to kind of illustrate decks in the metagame. But this weekend, I'm really curious to see how some of these new cards perform against, you know, actual sort of meta viable deck lists, you know? Especially without Ice Pop in the metagame, because it's banned this weekend. I think we should be getting a definite, like, better, I guess, reflection of, like, how strong the decks are and how they interact. Because Ice Pop is just sort of RNG slop, and it can just sort of win games. So I think cutting Ice Pop's going to definitely help to understand the metagame a little bit better in this first week. Let's play some more Bellibolt games. I don't think we've really showcased anything super spectacular about our deck, other than getting absolutely mopped by a starting Plains Tapu Koko Raikou combo, which, to be fair, is absolutely broken in the face of our deck that doesn't play any extra damage modifications or stadiums. So, you know, that's certainly a that's one scenario that might pop up. I don't know how often, but it is what it is. All right, going second. And Tadbulb lead. Okay, so we're playing a Steel-type deck again, which means we should be able to get a free charge off. Yeah, we should be able to, which is going to be really good. So let's see if we can get some Generators and or some Zeraoras. That would definitely allow us to maybe go turn 2 Bellibolt. He's going to Arven turn 1. And he gets a tool card. I love Arven as a card. I really do. Is he not playing tools? That's crazy. I don't know what just happened. Okay, Bellibolt right off the rip is cool. Makes me so I don't really want to copycat, but I might anyway. Yeah, the Pichu's not what we want. I am going to bench it and probably just copycat, though. Which I know sounds crazy, but we really do want to go for the... We really want to go for Zeraora so that we can get, like, turn 2 Bellibolt down, potentially. So let's just see what we get off the copycat. I know Generator's good. Copycat's fine. Research is fine. Zeraora is really good. And Bellibolt. Okay, so it worked out perfectly, actually. All good. So now if we hit off a generator or we draw into another generator next turn, we can just attack with Bellibolt. We whiff off generator, feels bad. Actually, no, we charge anyway. So actually, we do just kind of get this guaranteed. I forgot charge because this is going to be +2. So now we're going to go into turn 2, going second with 4 energies regardless because Tadpole lead, which is pretty cool. Now, again, this is really broken, but some decks will just be able to turn 2 KO Tadpole pretty easily, which is why it's kind of sketchy. And we don't really want to always have this, like, rely on this strategy, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm ready to just start attacking, quite honestly. Now, what we want to do, though, is probably find another Tadpole. We definitely want another Tadpole because we don't really want to commit energies to anything other than double Bellibolt. But what's really nice about this is that he's probably going to have to go through double Bellibolts, which is like, you know, there it is. So that's going to be like really good for our deck specifically. Let's just do this. We're going to get a nice copycat off as well. So this is why you play copycats in your deck, quite frankly. So we're just going to go 140 from here on out, and hopefully we draw a second Bellibolt, and I just don't really know, you know, what he's going to be able to do. The Sabrina is going to be somewhat nice, and there it is. All right, so I can't evolve this turn, of course, but yeah. So now we're just turn 2, 160, hitting for 140s. Like, I need people to understand just in general, like what these numbers mean. You know, these are really good numbers, and it's a strategy that's way more consistent than you might think. I think this Tadbulb is broken. I think Bellibolt's really good. Zeraora, like electrical generator or whatever. Like this deck has everything going for it. Like there's so many different scenarios. Like of every Pokemon we have on the board that at the beginning of the game can generate energies. So it's just in general really strong. I know that this type of high roll strategy might not be people's favorites, but again, you know, I mean, we're just sort of looking to win games. And at the end of the day, like if I'm going to a tournament, like I'm playing something with high potential, high upside, you know, which is just like what high roll decks are. So, you know, I think we're fighting fire with fire right now, and we're playing high roll Bellibolt, and it's in general just kind of crazy. Going second is crazy. If we go first and lead Pichu, it should be a very similar scenario as well. Let's just play more games. We're playing the same player, I think. Is this the third time we've hit this guy? No, I don't know. Anyway, we're going first, so let's lead Pichu. So this is so good, right? Because we get Zera, and we're going to Lissia to guarantee the Tadbulb. So like we should be able, I believe, well, I guess what we want is another, I'm trying to think. I guess we need a generator hit to still go turn 2. We also need to, of course, just draw. Well, we'll see. We'll see what we get here. So Lissia is definitely in the move to get double Tadbulbs down. We are playing against Suicune, so we got to be a little bit careful about benching too many Pokemon, but I'm just going to bench 1. Am I, though? Do we just bench 2? Does it even matter? I don't know. Crackly Toss. And let's go. We'll bench it next turn if we want to copycat. So we'll set up the Tadbulb. Zera will go +1. So if we can draw Generator, we can actually just hit for 140 next turn. We need Generator and Bellibolt. If we had double Zeraora, then of course we easily could have done it. But anyway, he actually researches. So we should be getting a really nice copycat down this turn regardless, because he's going to go +1 at the end of the turn. So, you know, at the end of the day, he's playing for, okay, so he's playing Baxcalibur in Qianpao. I don't mind this whole deck. I think that Suicune's just a good card. Okay, he just has 4 basics, I guess. So not going to be the best copycat in the world. I hate when Suicune does this too, you know. It's like we could have had like a 6-card copycat, but instead, you know, we get a 4-card copycat. It is what it is. There's Bellibolt though, which is super good. All right, so we need to draw Generator like pronto, like very, very, very pronto. We could Sabrina here, arguably, but I think what we're gonna do is just copycat to go for the Generator play. 4 new cards. We've got double Generator in the deck. I know it's a coin flip anyway, but Bellibolts, Zera, Research, and copycat. Okay, all good. That's totally fine, honestly. I know we have a full bench. We're going to get hit for a lot of damage, but we're just going to KO on the following turn, and he'll have 0 energies on the board. So imagine, though, if he does go double Baxcalibur. Like, that would be kind of crazy, but we're going to KO Qianpao anyway. So we probably are going to need some generators, though. Okay, he researches again. This man has literally 7 cards in deck. I'm a little bit afraid, actually. Quite frankly, a little terrified. Here comes the first Baxcalibur. He gets it down. Maybe this deck's broken. Maybe Suicune draw is enough to just to get this whole thing rolling. But to be honest, like if we can get lucky off a generator, like we should just be able to KO. Oh, starting planes is actually brutal. We keep losing to starting planes, which is sad, but it's okay. It's fine, probably, maybe not. And he's gonna cape the Chien-Pao. All right. We've gotten starting planed a lot. This guy's also weak to metal, which is scary, but it's okay. We have Sabrina as a win condition, so we need that. We can't copycat this turn, sadly, but whatever. So we're gonna get Chien-Pao'd. There's a generator, which we love to see. So let's go into this Bellibolt here, attach to it, just like this. My cat just ran into my room. All right, let's see if we can pop off with a generator here and maybe draw into a Sabrina. Okay, we get one here off of the generator, which we love to see. If he gets a second back Excalibur, like we're going to be afraid of that. It might even be worth it. We haven't played research yet. I'm actually just going to copycat instead. We want Sabrina to win this game, basically. Generator, Pokeball, and research. All right, tough. That's fine. This is going to grab another Zera. So what do we got? 6 cards in deck? 6 cards in deck. No Sabrina next turn feels bad. We can't really retreat, but whatever. Okay. So to be honest, he's not going to be able to attack back-to-back with Chien-Pao unless he gets double back Excalibur, which might not happen anyway. So my cat is trying to crawl onto my desk, but I don't want him to do that. So no, stop it. Get down. Okay, then. All right. That's great. He just jumped onto my camera. Love that for me. All right, anyway, we're about to get absolutely smoked by the Chien-Pao. But like we said here, big air balloon. Hello? So like we said, unless he gets second back Excalibur out, he's not going to be able to do this back-to-back. Yeah, it only has 5 cards in deck, though, which is scary. We do get Mars to 1, which we don't love, but we do have double research in the deck anyway. Sabrina? No. Okay. It's all good. That's all this comes down to is, does he have rare candy back Excalibur in this hand next turn? So I guess we'll see. We will see, won't we? This Chien-Pao, though, is kind of scary. I don't mind Chien-Pao. I think it's actually pretty decent. I think if you're going to play this, you got to play it with Suicune. But I think this deck is actually going to be really decent into certain decks. Like, I kind of slept on Chien-Pao, but I think it's going to be really, really good. He hits the Zera Aura. Oh, that's a correct play. I forgot. He could just do that. Okay. Well, anyway. It's all good. All right. Pokeball. Kind of a meme here. Our hand is terrible. We have double research, Sabrina, and Cyrus in the deck. If we stay in, does he even have the opportunity to KO us? Like, even if we just stay in, I don't think he can. Because this only does 20. So, I think staying in is probably just fine, actually. Could be wrong about that. I don't know how. I mean, again, I don't think his deck can do anything unless he draws into rare candy back Excalibur. So, YOLO, I guess. I don't think we retreat. I may be missing something here, but maybe he has red in the deck. Red would be funny to hit for 40 this turn. But anyway, let's see. Does he have rare candy back Excalibur in this hand? That would be hilarious. Uh-oh. Oh no, he's playing Starting Plains and Mesagosa. He's going to go down to 1 HP. All right. If this one card's rare candy and he flips heads off Mesagosa, we're cooked. Oh no. Oh no, he top decked Mesagosa, had rare candy in hand, coin flipped into back Excalibur. Did we just see it? Did we just get high rolled? There's no way. Maybe that's the middle evolution and we're fine. I love Pokemon Pocket these days. It's so funny. All right, let's see here. Did he get it? There's no way he top decked a Mesa. Why is he playing Starting Plains and Mesagosa? This card's broken, by the way. This card is broken. I think he doesn't have it. I think maybe he's holding off on me. I don't know. Did he do it? Is he doing it to me? The suspense is killing me. Oh, he's gonna Iono for 1. Hello? Oh, it's okay. He gives us Sabrina anyway, but shout out. That's the issue with Chien-Pao is like you really do need double back Excalibur. It's just not it's really a one-time type card, but whatever. If he didn't have Giant Cape, also he would have KO'd himself by getting rid of the stadium. But he doesn't have it. That's going to be it. GG. Shout out to Bellibolt, okay? I think this is an incredibly strong card. I think this is a really, really good deck. It feels like Hydreigon. It's kind of like lightning type, high roll, Hydreigon type stuff. But hey, I love Bellibolt. I would recommend you guys try this out, test it, change the deck, optimize it a little bit. I just think this whole lightning type package has a ton of potential, so it's something I would really recommend. We got rolled in the first game, unfortunately. I'm going to keep that in the video, but everything else was super kind of easy, to be honest with you. So shout out to all these players. Shout out to Bellibolt. Shout out to you guys. I'm actually really excited. I think the Chien-Pao stuff is interesting. I think Armarouge Charizard interesting. I think Meowscarada is interesting. And I think Bellibolt is very interesting and very good. So I'm actually really excited about this set. I'm not going to lie. I think they added a lot of really strong cards to the game. I know people were kind of sleeping on this set, but I think the metagame probably will have some nice development. We'll see this weekend, quite frankly. We don't know. But I'm pretty hopeful. I love Bellibolt. I think it's the strongest new card in the game. You guys can let me know how you're building Bellibolt, what you think is great. Again, a lot of different ways that you can play this Pokemon. I think Magnezone is going to be quite good. However, I don't like it into Hydreigon specifically, but you know, if you don't want to play a high roll version, tons of different cards you could play with Bellibolt. Maybe you play Oricorio. I don't even know. 160, 140, crazy numbers. Shout out to Bellibolt. Peace out, guys. Let's get out of here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to register for PMPT number 22 this Saturday. $200 cash prize pool, the first tournament here with all of the new cards. We're going to be live streaming it this weekend. It's going to be very exciting. Link to register down in the description below. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Peace out. Have a good one. We'll see you guys later. And yeah. Bye.